Good morning, everybody. Ready for another class? Today, we will learn how to talk about fashion makeovers. And we will learn how to make comparisons using not as. You already know how to make comparisons using comparative adjectives like better, nicer, more beautiful, more expensive. Today, we will learn a more complex way of making comparisons. Which celebrities do you think have good taste? In my opinion, Jennifer Aniston has good taste. I like the way she dresses. I like the way she wears her makeup and her hair. So I like her taste. These pictures represent some of the things that people have different tastes in. What are they? Look at the first picture. We can talk about taste in music, taste in hairstyles, taste in cars, or taste in clothes. When people get makeovers, what are some of the things they change? Recuerda que un makeover es un cambio radical de look. So what are some of the things they change? For example, people change their hair color. Some people get cosmetic surgery. They get a nose job or they get a liposuction. Some people lose a lot of weight. So those are some examples of things people change in their bodies. Would you let someone give you a makeover? Why or why not? So, for example, I would let someone I trust give me a makeover. Maybe my best friend. I would let my best friend give me a makeover because I trust her judgment and I think she has good taste. Would you let someone give you a makeover or not? Think about it. So look at the before and after pictures of Cindy and Scott. What do you think about their makeovers? Here you have Cindy before and after, and Scott before and after. Do you like their makeovers? Do you think these clothes suit them? Well, let's talk about comparisons. Let's make comparisons. Look at what Scott says. Scott is this guy. Scott says, my pants are just as comfortable as my jeans. These pants, they are just as comfortable as my jeans. I don't look as scruffy as I did. So in the first sentence, he's saying that his pants, the pants that he's wearing in this picture, are equally comfortable compared to the pants that he used to wear, the jeans that he used to wear. So they are just as comfortable as my jeans. They are equally comfortable. He also says, I don't look as scruffy as I did. So in the past, he looked scruffier or scruffy. Now he doesn't look scruffy anymore. So he says, I don't look as scruffy as I did. Now let's talk about Cindy. Cindy says he doesn't pay attention. He doesn't pay as much attention to his appearance as he should. She's talking about Scott. In Cindy's opinion, Scott doesn't pay as much attention to his appearance as he should. She also says, I try to get ready as quickly as I can in the morning. So she probably doesn't spend much time getting ready, putting on makeup and stuff. So I want you to analyze the as phrases here. As comfortable as scruffy as much attention to his appearance as quickly as. As you can see, we use as, adjective as, or as adverb as. We can also use nouns. We're going to see that in the next slide. So you can say as comfortable as, tan cómodos como, as. En español es tanto como o tan como, ¿ok? As big as, tan grande como, as beautiful as, tan bonita como. So, as scruffy as, scruffy is an adjective. But here we have an adverb, as quickly as. So we can also use adverbs, for example, quickly or often as hard as soon as. We can use adjectives and we can use adverbs. Now, look at this sentence, number 3. He doesn't pay as much attention to his appearance as he should. Here, we're using a noun, so it's also possible to use nouns. Attention. As much attention as he should. Read each pattern and example sentence. Then choose the sentence with the same meaning. In the first example, we have as, adjective, as. My boots are as comfortable as my shoes. This means my boots and shoes are the same, they are both comfortable, or my boots are more comfortable than my shoes. What does that mean? Una de las dos es correcta. My boots are as comfortable as my shoes. If you use as, adjective, as, it means they are equally comfortable. So the correct answer in this case is the first sentence. My boots are as comfortable as my shoes means my boots and shoes are the same. They are both equally comfortable. Number 2, we have an adjective again, but this time the adjective is negative, not as, adjective, as. My jeans are not as comfortable as my sweatpants. Are not. This is a negative sentence. What does the sentence mean? That my jeans are more comfortable or that my sweatpants are more comfortable? When we use the negative not, then that means they are not equal, okay? So there is a difference here. My jeans are not as comfortable as my sweatpants. That means my sweatpants are more comfortable. So the correct sentence is the second. My jeans are not as comfortable as my sweatpants. My sweatpants are more comfortable. Ya sabíamos cómo utilizar more, less con comparatives. Lo vimos en una clase en el nivel elemental básico. Esta es otra manera de hacer comparaciones, un poquito más compleja. que se ven en el nivel intermedio, por ejemplo, trata de utilizar, en vez de usar siempre more, puedes utilizar as. O en este caso, not as. Number 3, little plus an uncountable noun. As little, uncountable noun, as. I spend as little money as possible on clothes. As little money as possible on clothes. What does that mean? I spend more than I should, or I don't spend more than I have to. I spend as little money as possible on clothes. It means I don't spend more than I have to, which is a good thing because if you are, well, if you're trying to save up, then this kind of shopping behavior is very healthy, right? To spend as little money as possible on clothes. Of course, you don't want to buy clothes that look cheap, but there's a way of, you can get things from the rack sale, less expensive clothes, and still get good quality clothes. So I spend as little money as possible means I don't spend more than I have to. I don't spend more than I have to. As little money as possible. Little and uncountable. Now, the uncountable noun in this case is money. You can't count money. So you say as little money as possible. Another example of an uncountable noun is time. As little time as possible. Do you spend as little time as possible on your makeup in the mornings? Do you spend as little time as possible shopping? So, as little money as possible, as little time as possible. Those are some examples of uncountable nouns. Now, let's use many and a countable noun. Remember, uncountable nouns are nouns you can't count, like time or money. Earrings are things we can count, right? 1 earring, 2 earrings, 3 earrings. So we can count earrings. As many earrings as many countable noun as she wears as many earrings as she can. What does that mean? She can wear more earrings or she could wear more earrings? She wears as many earrings as she can. That means she can't wear more earrings. She can't possibly wear more because her whole ear is covered with earrings. So the correct sentence is the first. As many earrings as she can. So there is no more space for more earrings. She wears as many as she can. As many earrings as she can. So that was many. Now let's go over much. Much plus uncountable noun. Much, for example, time. As much time as much money as. Uncountable noun. Makeup is an uncountable noun. Maquillaje, makeup. So we say she wears as much makeup as she can. She wears as much makeup as she can. And we're going to make a little parenthesis here I want to explain to you how to use the word wear. En español nosotros usamos el verbo usar para ropa, usamos un polo, usamos un vestido, usamos zapatos. También para perfumes, por ejemplo, usamos un perfume, usamos un producto, usamos maquillaje. Nosotros las mujeres usamos maquillaje. En inglés, ese usar no siempre es use. Si buscas en el diccionario usar, la primera opción probablemente que va a aparecer es use. Pero recuerda que cuando hablamos de ropa, maquillaje, perfume, utilizamos el verbo wear, ¿ok? Entonces, en vez de decir I use makeup, debes decir I wear makeup. Si quieres decir yo uso cierto perfume, entonces I wear perfume. No digas I use perfume. That's incorrect. Okay? So she wears as much makeup as she can. What does that mean? She could wear more makeup or she can't wear more makeup. The correct answer is the second. She can't possibly wear more makeup. She wears as much makeup as she can. Well, that's not very nice, right? When you see someone wearing too much makeup, it doesn't look natural and looks horrible. So, as much makeup as she can, that's not good. It means she can't wear more makeup. Probably her face has tons of makeup and she can't wear any more makeup. Next, now we're going to use adverbs. Okay, adverbs. An adverb could be, for example, quickly, often, hard. In this case, we're using hard. As hard as quickly, as often as. I tried as hard as I could to find a new outfit. What does this mean? Does it mean I didn't try hard enough to find a new outfit? Or I did my best to find a new outfit? What does it mean? I tried as hard as I could. That means I did my best to find a new outfit. I did my best as hard as I could. You can say, for example, if you studied a lot for your English test and you did your best to try to get a good score, you can say, I tried as hard as I could to study for my final exam. I tried as hard as I could to memorize the verbs in the simple past, to memorize the verbs in the past participle. Most of my students have trouble memorizing these verbs, especially the irregular verbs in the past participle. So I tried as hard as I could to memorize the verbs in the past participle form. As hard as. Hard is an adverb. So now you know how to use as with adjectives, adverbs, nouns. Here are some examples. I tried as hard as I could, but I couldn't find the right size. I don't have as many pairs of shoes as I'd like. I don't think men get haircuts as often as women do. When I choose clothes, looks are as important as comfort. Older people don't care as much as younger people about keeping a job. Makeover shows aren't as interesting as other reality shows on TV. Now, what's your opinion? Do you agree or do you disagree? For example, number 6. What's your opinion? Do you think makeover shows aren't as interesting as other reality shows on TV? That means, if you agree, that would mean that you think other reality shows are more interesting than makeover shows. In my opinion, makeover shows are more interesting. So I would say the other way around. In my opinion, other reality shows aren't as interesting as makeover shows. So makeover shows are my favorite reality shows. What about number 5? What do you think about number 5? Is that true? Older people don't care as much as younger people about keeping a job. I think this is true because our generation, the generation of millennials, um, I wouldn't say they don't care about keeping a job, but they are like less likely to stay in the same job for a long time. My parents, for example, come from a generation where once you found a job, you would try to keep it for as long as you could, even until retirement. And that is not true for us. Younger generations always look for more opportunities to grow professionally. To if we're not happy in a job, we I think we are more more likely to quit and look for a better job, a job that makes us happier. So I think number 5 is true for our reality. Here we have another example, and this is true for me. I tried as hard as I could, but I couldn't find a good pad thai in Indonesia. So one of my favorite Thai dishes is called pad thai, which is a stir-fried noodle, stir-fried noodles with vegetables and chicken or shrimp or beef sometimes. So when I was in Indonesia, I I was missing pad thai and I wanted to eat a good pad thai, but I wasn't able to find it. And I tried as hard as I could, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to find my favorite dish in this country. So you might want to pause the video now, grab your notebook and write the answers in your notebook, and then press play again to correct your answers. Okay, so try to do this exercise before you see the answers. Number 1, older people don't care as much as younger people about their appearance. Number 2, makeover shows aren't as interesting as other reality shows on TV. 3, men spend as much money on themselves as women do. 4, when I choose clothes, looks are as important as comfort. 5, I don't have as many clothes and shoes as I'd like. 6, I spend as little time as possible shopping for clothes. 7, today's styles aren't as attractive as the styles of 10 years ago. 8, women get haircuts as often as men. So how are your answers? Did you get most of the answers right? Did you get all of the answers right? In some cases, there's more than one possible answer. So you need to fill in the blanks with whatever makes sense. For example, number 7, you can say today's styles aren't as cool as the styles of 10 years ago. So any adjective that makes sense isn't a good option. Attractive, cool, nice, etc. look at how much this guy has changed. So we can express comparisons in different ways. We can say, he didn't used to be as muscular as he is now, or he didn't used to work out as much as he does now. Forget about this as he does now. As you can see, we can use either an adjective with the verb to be. Muscular is an adjective. Or we can use a verb. He didn't used to work out as much as he does now. So you have these two options, the verb to be and an adjective, or we can use a verb and an adverb. Much is an adverb. Be an adjective. Be as muscular as he is now. Be as strong as he is now. Or you can use a verb. Work out, which means to exercise. He didn't used to work out as much as he does now. The last activity, complete the sentences using comparatives. Look at her before and look at her now. There has been a big makeover. She said, I always try to get ready as quickly as I could in the morning, but now I take my time. So let's complete the sentences with whatever makes sense using as. Okay? Number one, she used to spend possible on her makeup. She used to spend, well, you spend time, right? Time or money. Let's go with time. She used to spend as little time as possible on her makeup. Tan poco tiempo como fuera posible. Number two, she didn't pay to her clothes as she could have. So we have one as here, we need the other one. She didn't pay as much attention to her clothes as she could have. Number three, she used to think being fashionable wasn't being comfortable. So she probably thought that being comfortable was more important. How would you express that? Using as. Let's go with the adjective important. Okay? She used to think being fashionable wasn't as important as being comfortable. Number four, the red lipstick doesn't as a nude lipstick. Let's just omit this. Okay, the red lipstick doesn't as the nude lipstick. Lo que queremos decir aquí es el labial rojo no le queda tan bien como el labial de color nude o neutro. The red lipstick doesn't suit her as much as the nude lipstick. And finally, number five, she tried to look 10 years younger and she achieved it. She tried as hard as she could to look 10 years younger and she achieved it. Now you can talk about fashion using new vocabulary. You can express comparisons using as. You can use vocabulary to talk about makeovers and trends. Well done. See you next class.